Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. So you know what we have to do when we first go live, because these kinds of lives, they always try to block and suppress it. And so we're gonna take a few seconds to share this, and then you're gonna hear directly from the mother of the child, who in our opinion, has been abducted. Um, because there's no way you can prevent. Well, do what is happening. I'm going to let the mother fill you in as to what is happening. This is very serious. So as we're doing this, take the time to also share this live. Please take the time to share this live in your groups. Tag persons, use your @followers and your @highlights so we can make sure we get this message out. Thank you to the over 20 plus thousand persons who was on the last live for sharing it. We want to make sure we get this message out, because what is happening is clearly, clearly, in my opinion, criminal. And I'm going to actually show you documents that make me believe that it is actually breaking the law. What the government is doing in all of this, and there seems to be some kind of deep, dark cover up. But we're going to get to the bottom of all of that in a second. All right. So I'm just taking a second to share this, and then you're going to hear directly from the mother. You're going to hear directly from the mother. So we're broadcasting live from all of our platforms. So we're not just on my Facebook page now. We are on my Facebook page, Coalition of Independence. We're also on Behemoth Evolution. We're also on YouTube and LinkedIn and all these other stuff. So we are broadcasting all over the place. So you won't be able to see the full numbers by watching any one of those platforms. It's going to be shared out through all of the platforms. So we need you to do what you can right now. Let me put your comments up there. Let me see that you share next to your name. Let me put your comments up so you can have state what you have to state while you're watching this, and the whole world can see it. All right. I'm just going to share this. When I share this, I normally share this to a couple thousand people before we go live. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we have a situation here where there's suspected child abuse, child neglect, or all of those stuff. And so we have a duty as a Bahamian people to defend the most vulnerable amongst us. And that's what we are going to do today. All right. That's what we're going to do. So we have a duty to do that. And so if this is the first time you're watching one of these videos, I can't take for granted that you've seen the other videos. There are twin boys who were in the United States with their mother. One of them needed special care because he has Down syndrome. They were in the United States with their mother. She found herself in some trouble with the law. She was falsely accused of hitting someone with a car or something like that. And she was in prison. She was stuck and couldn't leave America. But the children had to be brought back to the Bahamas. She left her children with her mother. She turned her children over to her mother, and actually signed an actual affidavit giving her mother legal guardianship of the children. And she was able to use that to get documents, etc., for them to travel, etc. And she brought them to the Bahamas. Being a good grandmother, she allowed the biological father, to have access to the children, to spend time with him, to stay with him, etc., etc. And of course, later we started to hear that there were allegations of abuse. One of the boys ran away and told the police that he's being abused. But the problem is the father of these children is connected to Miles LaRota, who is the Minister of Social Services. So it appears that there's some either intimidation or timidness to actually deal with this properly, or they feel like it wasn't dealt with properly. And so person stole Miles Road of what was suspected, and we don't see where anything was done. I have a video clip of Miles Road here that I'm going to show to you, which will show you some stuff and help you understand this to another level. And so it went out. The mother found out that the child was in hospital while in the care of the father, that his girlfriend or whoever she is took the child to the hospital, and the hospital, well, to the clinic and then to the hospital, and the hospital kept the son. Now, again, the hospital is not supposed to take any children into their care without it being signed off by a legal guardian. That's the parent or the legal guardian. But we are told that it was the girlfriend of the father who took the child to the hospital, and there's allegations about her. And the child was at the hospital. Procedures were done to that child without the permission of the guardian, etc. But I'm going to get you with the legal side of all of that stuff in a minute. But now the problem is, as you saw with our last live, um, when the grandmother heard the child was in the hospital, she went to visit the child. She saw a suspicious situation. The child's face was swollen, his eye. Sorry, she allegedly took pictures of the child in that state, which I think any guardian or parent or loved one should do. I don't think she did anything wrong by doing that. And so now that it went public, the hospital decided they're going to suspend her. I'm going to get to all of that, because all of that is against the law and breaking the law, not just against policy. They broke the law by doing that. And I don't think they realized that they broke the law, but I'm going to let them know which laws they're breaking right now. And so they just suspended her. I was there with her when they decided to go through with that. We spoke to the lawyers after she was suspended, the lawyers of the hospital, and the lawyers said, oops, they didn't know that she actually is the one who the mother turned the children over to and brought the children into the country. Said they didn't know that when they allowed this decision to be made. And it's like, oops, y'all do what y'all got to do, but we didn't know. And so now we're in this quagmire, because these people always do what they don't have authority to do. All right. And so now, well, we heard that up to that point, the hospital had made a decision that they wasn't going to allow the grandmother to see the child anymore. And also now, yesterday evening, we heard that the family was denied to see the children. So I'm going to let the mother speak to this, and then we're going to deal with the laws that the government is breaking. And I'm going to show you the laws, and it's common sense. So you're going to see the laws that the government is breaking in all of this. So you can see for yourself that the government, this particular government, loves breaking the law to do whatever they want to do and to protect their members of parliament. But when children are involved, you need to put politics aside. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna call her name, but I'm gonna introduce the mother of the twin boys to you. Mom, how you doing today?
Not too well under the circumstances.
My Lord, I understand, but again, it's awesome that you are fighting and doing everything you can to fight for your children. What happened yesterday? Your family went to visit the child in hospital, right?
Yes, I got a phone call yesterday evening. My auntie was very upset. She said she went to go see the baby in the hospital with some other family members. She got to glimpse the baby. Said the baby looked like a doll in rags. He don't have no clean clothes, no groceries. He just looked like nobody's child.
What?
The family member went to carry clothes and groceries and snacks so he could have loud. They're not authorized to let. I was like, why? You can't see the babies. There's nothing in documents stating that she can't see the family can't see the baby. So they called the police and security on my auntie, threatening to lock them up and drag them out the hospital. I told you the officer name that she called. They give her a lot of fuss about seeing the baby, but my auntie concern was about who's going to take care of the baby with groceries and clothes, because the only person that does that is my mom. The baby was wearing a singlet, an undershirt with all type of stains and holes on it. What? Why is he like that in the hospital in a diaper, just with a singlet and stains and holes in it?
So just a singlet and a diaper?
Crying. Yes, sir. My auntie called me crying. My auntie called me crying because she just couldn't believe it. Even through this whole thing that's happening now, you still have the baby look like that?
Wow. So they were able, when they came in the ward, they wanted to see him, but they wouldn't let them go to the bed, but they could see him from where they were.
Yes, she ended up glimpsing him. They ended up glimpsing him before the nurse noticed. That's who she came to see. And then they stopped her from continuing to do what she was doing. She went to carry clothes and groceries to the baby. The family went to carry clothes and groceries to the baby.
So why are they hiding the child from its own family?
Because the family to see the cover-up that they're doing, because they're claiming it's a cold in his eye, an infection. If it's a cold in his eye, then why not give him antibiotics, what you normally do for the infection?
Yeah.
What damage could possibly be done that y'all need to have surgery on my baby's eye? And still haven't contacted me as the mother or contact the legal guardian, which is my mother, as yet for anything. The girlfriend name should not be listed as the next of kin on his medical files. She's not married to the dad. She did not conceive or birth my baby. She should not be labeled as the next of kin on his file.
And the dad also has no rights to custody because you all are not married.
At all. We never got married.
Wow. And so, yeah, I understand in the infection thing, but speaking to a nurse who deals with eyes, she's very suspicious of that injury or wound because it seems to be like bruised and the skin is removed. Like it isn't just an infection. It seems to be like he was hit.
Correct.
And I heard that the father had said that the boy ran into a door and hit his eye.
He told my mother, when my mother questioned him, that he ran into a dresser. Now, my baby, he has Down syndrome. He has low motor skills. He is not able to run with any force because he still stumbles like a baby still trying to walk. He still stumbles. He's not strong enough to run into anything. He walks feet behind you for stability. So that's impossible. And then Miles LaRota Sr. told my mom it's a cold in his eye. Which one is it? Then he turned around and said it happened in the hospital. So what's the stories? 3 different stories about his eye.
Wow. Okay, so what is it that you intend? You want your mother, who is a legal guardian, to have access to this child and to make all decisions as relates to his medical care, right?
Yes, sir. I want my mother. That's who I initially give my kids to. He was never supposed to have my kids. This man has never came on the flight. This man, where every time we have an incident where mommy, the baby don't look like he's going to make it, I need you to sign these papers. So if we need to pull the cord, we'll pull the cord. He has never came. He's never came on a flight to see these kids in the time that I've had these kids. Wow. Yes, he'll send $75 here, $50 here, $100 here the first year. Yes, he did. I never took that away from him. I never said that he never did anything. That's the most. And then what he's doing now with the kids. Everything up to the birth of them kids, he hasn't spent $1.
What?
He couldn't even give me $100 to pay for the $55 each for their ticket to fly here.
Wow.
You can't expect me as the immigrant mom struggling with the babies to send you money. Even now that I don't have them, you still can't expect me to send you money. My mom takes care of the kids for me. You want money from my mom and you want money from me?
Wow.
Where am I supposed to get this money from to keep giving you? And I have to struggle with them without a job here. By myself, with my mom's help. I had to pay rent, light bill, water bill, phone bill. I'm an immigrant. I'm not allowed to work. I still have to get my son to all the specialist appointments because once you come in America and you have these kids, regardless if they're immigrant or not, you have to account for these babies because DCF don't play.
Yeah, they don't play with that.
They don't play. It was said that I was locked up and my son was roaming the street when I was locked up. Then why wasn't I charged with child endangerment?
Wow.
If the kids get deported, then why the mother didn't get deported? It's
Yeah. That it's just a bunch of nonsense. So I just want to make it clear that is your intentions. You have no idea why the hospital is touching your children without your permission, or doing anything with your children without your permission, and one and two, why are they refusing your family from seeing the child? Anyone can go and visit someone in the hospital. Even churches go on the ward and visit persons, pray with them, etc., etc.
My aunt went as a reverend to pray for the baby, and they still wouldn't. The police was nasty with my auntie. My aunt had to tell him he need to watch his mouth because she's his elder. Officer Capron, he was very nasty with my auntie. He was very nasty with my family.
Wow. Yeah, we normally have a lot of complaints about this Capron fella, but we're gonna deal with all of that. I want to show persons, and I want you to be aware of this. So I want to show persons what LaRhoda had to say about the swelling of the child's eye. I'm going to show them now. You won't be able to see it, but you'll be able to hear it. What he said about the swelling of the child's eye, and that's where we're going to get to what they did with your mother. But before I do that, I just want to make everyone abreast of the law, and no one should refuse the rights of a child to someone who actually has the rights of a child. All right, the rights to a child, and that's called abduction. All right, that's in the law. It's called abduction. If this mother has a right to a child and you're trying to take that right away from that mother unlawfully, what the hospital is doing, in my opinion, is called abduction. All right, not kidnapping, but abduction. And I'm going to actually show you that in the law why I have that opinion. And so everyone watching the screen right now, you can see what the law is. Definition of abduction in the law. All right, section 5, it says a person is guilty of abduction of another person who, with intent to deprive any person entitled to the custody, that's the mother, or the grandmother, or control of that person, of such custody or control. So if you take the custody of or deprive that person, you have intention to deprive a person of the custody or control of their child. If you unlawfully take that other person from the lawful custody, care, or charge of any person, or detains that other person from returning to lawful custody, care, or charge of any person. All right. So you cannot take the lawful rights of any parent. All right. And when I say parent, I mean the person with lawful custody. And so in this case, this is a single mother. She has lawful custody. So the hospital is on thin ice with this. They, to me, based on this law, appear to be breaking the law, especially if they are holding that child without the permission, and if they are depriving this parent from their rights to see, rights to their entitlement to custody or control of that child. All right. And so that's where a problem comes in. So I just want to inform you that, in my opinion, the hospital is committing a serious indictable offense right now. And anyone, we want you to send your mother there to see that child today. And anyone who refuses your mother from seeing that child is in breach of the law. All right. And so a police report should be made, and also a lawsuit should be filed immediately if they intend to do that. All right. You are expressing, if they could take other information from you over social media, you are expressing right now that you want your child in the custody of your mother, and your intention was for your mother to have all of the say with your children, not anyone else. And the hospital has to take that into consideration, because the girlfriend has no rights to the court. So you understand your rights as it relates to this.
Yes, sir. I have a copy of that right now, too.
Okay, awesome. All right. And so I also want it to be clear, all right, and this is mandatory reporting of child abuse. And so everyone has a duty to report child abuse, but also workers and persons, officials. It says notwithstanding subsection 1 or any who performs professional or official duties with respect to a child, including a physician, nurse, dentist, pharmacist, a psychologist, or other healthcare professional, a school principal, teacher, counselor, social worker, youth or child recreational leader, member of the clergy, or child care worker, or a police officer, probation officer, or child youth worker, who in the course of that person's professional or official duties has reasonable grounds to suspect that the child is suffering or has suffered significant harm, shall forthwith report the suspicion to the director together with the information upon which it is based. All right. And so any nurse or anything, a school teacher, anyone who suspects that a child is being abused has a duty to address that and deal with that. All right. Now, that takes me to your mother and the situation with your mother and her being unlawfully suspended. All right. They are breaking the law. All right. And I want you to hear this. And then I am going to jump in the car and we're going to do certain things today. All right. But I want you to hear this. This is the Minister of Social Services who, because he has a personal situation closely related to this, should actually be removed or should resign because of this. But of course, under this government, we know that that's not going to happen. But this is Miles LaRota saying what he suspects happened to that child. And here's what he had to say.
And I said, I know that he had some kind of infection, but I didn't see the photos. I mean, the photos are very, very disturbing. When I spoke to my son, he's saying that the swellings, as a matter of fact, the condition that he is in now actually happened at the hospital. Yes. Originally, there are photos that exist of his condition that were taken before he was taken to the clinic or before he was taken to PMH. What I'm advised by my son that happened is that his eyes closed down and they have to literally open the eyes to put the medication in it.
Yes, sir.
And so, again, the information will be...
So I'm going to pause that there. I think persons would have heard that he said that he suspects the swelling happened in the hospital. Is that what you heard, Mother?
Yes, that's what I heard.
Okay, so if he suspects the swelling happened in the hospital, okay, that's not what I believe or we believe, but that's what he suspects as the minister. And so if you feel that the swelling happened in the hospital, then the grandmother has a duty to, if she sees something going on or that something might have happened to him in the hospital, she has a duty to make sure that he gets the care he needs if she suspects anything. Now, I'm going to show you where that is in law, that she was in right to do what she did, and that the government violated her rights, and now they're liable to a lawsuit for suspending her. They did it just to, I believe, to victimize her and to intimidate her and silence her. But I think by doing that, they really messed up this time. And I think they're going to find themselves in some serious legal ramifications. All right.
Excuse me, Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
They not only victimized my mother, they also victimized the security at his school. She's no longer at the school working there anymore.
Wow. And that's the security that the little boy went to say that he was being abused.
Being abused at home, yes, sir.
What?
The security is not there no more. When my mommy went to the school to follow up with the principal,
I was there.
The security is no longer there.
Wow.
So they victimizing everybody who knows what's going on. Yeah,
the little boy allegedly went to the security guard and told the security that he was being abused at home, just trying to find someone to talk to. And of course, the security did what they had to do, but now the security has been removed. We don't know where the security is, but the security has been removed. I was there. when your mother inquired about that security. I went with her to go and see the principal. That is shocking. All right. Now, the principal said that she didn't know anything about these allegations and the abuse, et cetera, et cetera. But while we were talking to the principal, very nice lady, all of the staff were very nice and professional with us. But when we were talking to her, she made it seem like she didn't know what was going on. She didn't know about the situation. But the mother asked her, did you see when he came in here, when I brought him to the school, how high his hair was? And she said, yeah, his hair was extremely high and unkept. All right, that's what the principal said. So if you didn't, if you don't know about the situation, how do you remember exactly what boy we talking about just from that description of saying this of how his hair was? So I think she slipped up by on that. So it's clear that they know what's going on, and they're all participating somehow in this. I don't mean all of them in some kind of nefarious way, but I think they're getting instructions from somewhere, and that's what everyone seems to be saying. And so that takes us to the law. What I have in front of me now, what everyone is looking at, Mom, is the Freedom of Information Act, all right, which is now enacted. Now they've not put any money towards it, so that they're not going to allow you to apply or do anything, but the law stands, all right? And even before this was enacted, Section 47 of that was enacted, which is the whistleblower section of that. We call it the Whistleblower Act, but it's a section, all right? And whistleblower, let me show you what this says, all right? This says, no person may be subject to any legal, administrative, or employment-related sanction, regardless of any breach of a legal or employment-related obligation for releasing information on wrongdoing. All right? So she has a right, as long as she did it in good faith, she cannot be sanctioned by any employment-related sanction or anything, no kind of punishment, because she released information, because she suspected any kind of wrongdoing. All right? As long as she did it in good faith and she believed that it is true. All right? And so that is the law. That's the Whistleblower Act, Section 47. All right? The Whistleblower Act. And so I want to say this to all public servants out there. You are protected by law. Don't let no one tell you you can't release information or confidential information. As long as you believe that there's wrongdoing and you release the confidential information because you believe that there's wrongdoing, you are protected. And anyone who sanctions you in any way is breaking the law. Okay? This is the law that this government don't like to follow, just like the procurement law. This is the law. You are protected by Section 47 of the Act by revealing anything that you suspect is wrongdoing. That includes criminal offense or any miscarriage of justice, failure to comply with any legal obligation, or corruption, dishonesty, or serious maladministration. And so if she went in there and she to the ward and she believed that there was maladministration or justice was being denied, she had a right to take picture and release that information. Not that she released that, she gave it to the mother for the mother to decide what she is going to do. She didn't release this to the public. All right. And so she had a duty. So if your child or your loved one is in the hospital, or even if a nurse sees that and something happens to them, and the nurse reveals that, the nurse cannot be punished by law, and anyone punishing her breaks the law. This is in any agency, government agency. All right? You have a right and a duty to expose what you believe is corruption. That's what protected those persons during the immigration scandal with Keith Bell, when they were putting out the information and sending information to us for us to put out there. They had a right to do that because skullduggery was going on. And so even if the PHA felt that she was on duty at the time and she should not have released that information, if she felt that something happened to the boy, if she felt that something is happening to him because of the relation, something is being covered up because of the relation of the father to the minister, she has a right to release whatever information. And y'all broke the law by touching her. This is what happens when you have people in positions because of their politics and don't know the law. When I started to bring the law up to them at the PHA in that meeting with her, they said, you got to go talk to the lawyers. And when we talked to the lawyers, they were like, they were like, oh, we didn't know this, we didn't know that. But she's already suspended. And so, mother, we are going to protect her. We're going to stand with her. We just wanted persons to know that they are trying to block your rights and the rights of that guardian, which is abduction, and that is illegal. All right, because there's something to hide. If the minister feels that something happened to the child in the hospital, mother, if he feels that way, and now the hospital is hiding the child from the family, something serious is going on. All right?
Yeah, it is. Something serious is going on.
Yes. That's a serious problem.
This is beyond politics. It's about two innocent babies that cannot fend for themselves.
Yes.
I only asking for my babies to return back to their legal guardian.
Wow.
That's all I want, and I don't know why they're making it so complicated. Just release my kids to my mom.
Yeah.
Would you fight me for my babies that I birthed? My rights has never been taken away. My rights trump everything else. My rights has not been taken away. I have never gone to court to lose my rights. I have not been charged for no abuse for my kids. There's nothing stating that I've ever abused my kids. I left everything behind in the Bahamas, my family, my two older kids, just to seek medical care for my twins. I've done everything I can as a mother to fight for my kids' life. I'm still continuing to fight for my kids' life. Everybody trying to make this around my mom and me and the dad. This is about the kids.
Yeah, I just blocked someone called Tanaz Spence, and I almost never.
Yes, her and her other friend been sending me threats on Facebook. Death threats. I make a statement now from the police over here for her. I've been getting a lot of death threats from the girlfriend's family.
What?
Yes, sir. I even have the recordings where they was threatening my mother job if I open my mouth.
Wow. Well,
they really being dirty and nasty behind the scenes. They letting people know what they want to let them know, but they can't go around to this man openly admitting him and the girlfriend abusing the kids. The granddad stated that he see these kids every day. So how come you didn't see his eye yet? You stated that on the news. You haven't seen his eye. You haven't seen the photo of his eye. But how are you seeing this baby every day?
Wow.
It makes sense to me.
Wow. So that Spencer person is a relative of the girlfriend.
Yes. Her and another name, Brenda, something like that. I've been dealing with them attacking since Ozzy Porter put out my information and addresses and stuff out there. I've been having this issue. I'm going to make a report on him as well.
Whenever someone puts out your information, your address, that kind of stuff, in a malicious way like that, screenshot it as soon as you can.
I record him because he's gone and delete the live after that, but I definitely record him. Everything that he's been posting about me, that is lies and defamation about me and my mother, because he's calling me all type of obscenity languages, me and my mother on his live. I record every single thing, and then he deletes it.
Wow. Yeah, well, don't be distracted by that person. Certain persons are there, and that makes me feel more that it's a political cover-up, because they always find a social media troll to go and do their bidding and attack the persons. And so now that's happening, that makes me, and he's an admitted social media troll. He says that,
he actually knows Miles LaRoda, older sister. I have a picture of that as well. Oh. He knows, so they used to go to school together. So he has some type of attachment with the case.
Oh, okay. And so, yeah, that's making me feel like Miles LaRoda is behind a lot of this. And so if that gentleman is doing that, and that gentleman was also accused in the past of abusing children, and I'm talking about rape, sexual stuff to children, and that's just an accusation. But I don't understand how people could go against a mother who just wants to defend her children. I don't care what your opinion is of the mother. I don't care anything else. These are children that may be in a serious situation. So just let the mother take care of her children, and that is that. I don't understand what the big deal here is. I don't. And so we shouldn't have social media persons known to be political trolls attacking a mother because she just wants her children back. We understand your situation. Anyone could get caught up in that kind of situation. You were over there. Your child needed some extra medical help. You were over there. You got in a mishap, and now it's cleared up, and you want your children back. But it's almost like they're holding on to the children because they don't want you to get the children, because they don't want the children to reveal what really happened, especially the boy who can talk.
Exactly.
You see, and that's what it looks like to me, because I don't see what the big deal is with all of a sudden with the grandmother having access to the children. This reminds me of the Baby Bella case, because in that case, the girl was abused and raped, and it's like the government didn't want it to be known that she was also raped. And it's like, Wayne Monroe and them, in our opinion, started to cover up. Like they wanted the mother to, even though she was arrested for the situation with this girl, to have access to the body and that kind of stuff. And they fought. They sent Bajon Ferguson, who's a lawyer, caught up in that voice note thing with the murder thing. But he is normally the one, in our opinion, that does the dirty work of the PLP. They sent him to fight for the father to not get the body. Like they didn't want the body to be inspected. All right. They wanted to hold that process up because you have to do a second autopsy within a certain time. And, Maria and myself, we fought to make sure that another lawyer assisted to make sure that the father got access to the child in that case because of the abuse going on. But they didn't want to be able to have that second autopsy. That's what I believe, to be able for us to know what went on. And I saw the state of that child. That's why I'm fighting for your children too. I saw the state of baby Bella. I went in there in the funeral home when we won the case with the father, just me and him. And he saw her before any work was done to her. And I saw the terror on her face. And I remember baby Bella, the neighbors heard that something might have been going on with her. They heard certain things, baby Bella said certain things, and no one did anything. No one fought for that little baby. No one fought for that little baby. And I saw that little baby, her ribs look crushed, like someone was on top of her, putting his weight on her, raping her. I saw the brutalization. I saw the terror in her face. It was stuck on her face. I saw that with my own eyes. And we cannot let these boys go through anything like this. If that is the case, I'm not saying that's what's happening, but if that is the case, we cannot allow that to happen. Why is the government, meaning the hospital, hiding
be there? I am confident.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My internet connection was lost. Something happened just now. I don't know what happened just now. My computer got hacked or whatever the deal was just now. But something serious happened. And anytime you're dealing with these cases where you're dealing with these kinds of situations, that happens. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So and there's some people who are saying that if your children are so important to you, why don't you just come and get them? I will say this. All right, I understand your pain. I understand your situation. Your son is going to need some medical assistance that he can only get in the U.S. I understand that
Correct.
because I have a son who has autism also. All right, a severe and high in the spectrum, and there's some. We have problem getting medications here in the Bahamas. All right, just one of his medication right now that is out, and I can't find it nowhere in the country. All right, um, and so sometimes there's things that he needs treatment for in the States. If you were to leave the States right now, you will not be able to come back over there with him. It'll be extremely difficult. And so
Correct, because my documents now is in process, so I
right.
can't leave until that's done.
And so if you get in that situation, then you're stuck here without being able to give him the care he needs. I understand your concern. And the mother, and you were expected that your mother, the grandmother, would be able to have access to the children and then just bring them now that you're in a position to accept them and give them the care they need over there. It's simple, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes,
so
sir. I'm
now
more than able to take care of them now.
right. So we're gonna make sure that your mother is able to get access to these children so she could bring them so you don't have to be in a situation. And we heard Maserota say that on the interview that I showed you a minute ago. He said that the son had to be taken to the US to get special treatment because he has some other ailments and he has to go to the US to deal with that. All right. So LaRota said that. A situation where you're in jeopardy, where you can't take them to the US to get their treatment, especially if it's going to be for a long period of time. I had to do the same thing. All right. And so I know people, they'll sit back criticizing and tell it's them or their family in that situation, but just be strong. Do what you know is right. We're going to fight for you on this end. And so just be strong. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so we're not going to let because they feel an MP is being embarrassed. I don't care about an MP. I don't care about a member of parliament, a minister, or anything. I care about these children. All right, MPs are used to criticism, and they should be used to criticism. They need to get some thick skin. They need to man up. All right, they need to man up. And so I don't care about an MP or his feelings. I care about these children, and if there's abuse going on, that needs to be investigated, and y'all should not be hindered from seeing these children. All right. So we got some work to do. I'm going to go and get to work. Anything else you want to say?
I need a wellness check on the oldest twin. From this happened last week, Thursday. No one has even checked on the oldest twin. No one is saying anything.
We went to the school and the principal refused to even tell us if he was in school. As yesterday. Refused to even say if he was in school. What they're saying is that, as far as they know, the father has the rights.
I don't understand how we have the rights if I never give him any rights and we're not married.
Yeah. All right. They're saying when
because my mom had to put them in school because my mom had all the legal documents for them because my mom is the one who helped me got their legal documents before we traveled. My mom has all the originals.
Yeah. And so the school said based on what they have before them that they couldn't give her any information because the father has the rights. She's filled out the application, etc. The application does not need a signature. It's just an information form. An information form, she put that he's the father, etc. And because she put that he's the father, that he has the rights. All right. So, I mean, that's absolute nonsense, but we're going to deal with that from a legal standpoint. But we went there to check on him, but they refused to say if he was at school or if he wasn't at school, which is very concerning. All right. If my grandmother come to bring me lunch, that always happens. I don't see what the issue is, or my auntie or whoever. But all right, so they're just being careful, but I believe that they got instructions. And so that's what was happened. All right. And so have you considered speaking to the media in the United States?
I have.
Okay. So
but I'm giving the Bahamas a chance to do something.
Yeah. they're not going to do what's right. We have to expose this to the media in the U.S. This is a serious situation, especially with immigration involved. This is a serious situation, so we need to deal with this. All right, with no holds barred. They are not going to do what's right. The fact that they illegally suspended her means that they're not going to do what's right. She can only be suspended for a major offense. That's what their act says. Sorry, the disciplinary policy says. She can only be suspended for a major breach or major offense. Taking a picture of your grandchild off duty, that ain't no offense. All right, that's ridiculous. All right, so thank you so much. We got some work to do. Let's get it done. But we need your mother to go to that hospital and check on that child, and we need to know what's going on with the other child right away. All right, so we'll get to it.
Thank you so much.
All right, see you later. So I know I get a lot of calls every day, all day from a lot of people who are going through different situations. I am one man with 24 hours, so there's a lot of people trying to reach me. I know some of you trying to reach me and you can't get me. I can only deal with a certain amount of cases one time. I got to put some focus on this because some children are involved and this is extremely urgent. So please excuse me while I address this matter and address this matter properly. All right, so the best time to get me is in the morning on WhatsApp, 803-5995. All right. So God